What's up everyone, it's Paul and LaFon bringing you another Overwatch League recap video. We've all slowly been starting to warm up to the Fuel not being bad, but actually a competitive roster. Problem is for them this week, Philly are up next for them, and we don't expect them to take the W.
I've been pretty bullish on the Fuel, consistently saying they're trending towards good, maybe even better than good. But now they have to prove it against a top 3 team in the league.
That extra burst damage will go a long way. Philly need to get rid of some of these Dallas Fuel players who now position themselves away from the point a little bit more. Crimzo pressured down by Sada, returns on the Wrecking Ball, and Carpe gets the extra damage. There it is, the pulse bomb on Gumsu. Dallas are crumbling. It's a long fight, but they can't stay in it here, and Philly get themselves the first round on Busan.
As Philly steals that.
By a grenade thrown in by Alar to keep him topped up. Now the point is open for the taking, and Decay moves. This is going to have to force a response from Philadelphia. Closey gets caught out. Sada's able to corner him off from the rest of the team, and Philly just wiped the floor with Dallas early.
As Sato gets into the backline and takes out Closer, just look at from Alarm's POV how much help he has on the Ana, right? Dallas, they want to jump on top of him, but Fury is right there. Funny Astro is there to help protect him. I thought that the Hisu EMP could have turned the tides. That'll be an EMP that comes in from Doha. Funny Astro uses his sound barrier, only gets himself, as seems like a few players just not in the line of sight of that, so not an ideal use of the sound barrier. Still Philly though, they'll get up to about 65%.
Yep. Doha's EMP didn't actually look like it did a bunch. I think it caught Hisu, but Sato would put a Winston barrier down at the moment.
Oh, absolutely. You think they win this fight, right? Just behind the Coalescence. Look at the choke that the Philly Fusion are trying to push through, but it's going to be Carpe getting a stick on a Crimzo, but you may have lost too much at this moment in time.
He's able to at least interrupt the Coalescence by enough time, and yes, Coalescence is for both sides now. Hisu's looking for the ideal EMP setup against both main tanks, but great timing. Closer is able to hit a sound barrier from the back. Gumsu and Noda now kept protected whilst unable to use their abilities. Can't say the same for Crimzo and Doha though. Fury finds the self-destruct kill, and not ideal.
Coalescence, and he ended up using it later in the fight, but just an advantage that Dallas had going into that fight was massive. They had like 4 ultimates, and they were a player up, especially getting the Moira. And then you also had a hack from Doha, able to connect with 3 there. Which is a huge difference in that fight.
All right, another healing cooldown to base the fight around Philadelphia. Try and push forward again with Alarm's Coalescence. They catch Doha this time, and Gumsu got hacked early. And these fights are being won and lost off the basis of either Coalescence or the EMP right now. 2 of the big game changers. Coalescence really favoring the team that is able to focus and target down early.
Well, we never really talk about Coalescence, like the actual function of the ultimate. It's just how strong it is overall, right? I mean, you can
see the barriers also for this part of the fight. Handy for Coalescence and for getting everybody with the EMP. Sato and Fury are hit. Fury already self the self-destruct in, but Alarm has fallen to decay because these tanks could not peel in that window. So Philly once again are 99% map, but they are lacking some key elements in this fight.
Yeah, and I don't know how it happens, but you can't lose Hisu early like that. And then we get an EMP from Hisu at the end.
It looked really good. Shame no one else was there to see it.
Which, I mean, okay, that's a great
EMP. But Fury loses his instantly. He's hacked. He needs help. Someone from Philly has to turn around and do something about it, but the late fight EMP might be just what the doctor ordered.
Oh, and Node gets debacked.
Node lost his mech. He lost his mech. Fury managed to get the... has been moving pretty much this entire time. Philly identified that Dallas wanted to disengage, and they'd also used the ultimate, so they were said, okay, we'll go to the cart, we'll force them down onto the high ground, and this is one-sided as it gets. Dallas are yet to score a kill here on Gibraltar, and the snowballing nature of this map continues to be demonstrated.
Yep, this all you need here is an EMP to get it going. More switches now have to come in for the Dallas Fuel.
Okay, manages to get out. No D-Suiter, but it's going to be an EMP here. Another questionable one from Doha. They catch Sato, but is that really enough? Sound barrier kept Sato ticking along nicely, and then he finishes off Crimzo. You'll have a Primal Rage, but more importantly, there's an EMP from Hisu if it's necessary. Funny Astro was tearing heads off, though. As time ticks down, The Fusion are in position now to push to the last point. And Sato is blocking the door with this Primal Rage. Patience there from Gamsu. He waits it out, then pushes out to the payload, and Hisu will play around the left-hand side. Doha tried the Bastion. Unfortunately, that came crumbling down. Note now finished off. Crimzo trying to stick around on the point, and Gamsu had Primal Rage, but he was hacked, and then he got blown up by the self-destruct. Philly get the map done, but it is far, and I mean far from pretty.
Doha tried the thrown in. Funny Astral use a sound barrier, try and keep everybody up, as Philly does not want to give this up.
Closer's barrier is crucial here, but they've lost Crimzo already, and Closer can't use it now. He's not in line of sight. Sato, whether he knew that or not, forcing Closer into the server room when no one would have benefited from the sound barrier if he'd used it, was either fortuitous or 1,000 IQ. You be the judge.
And I think you can see how good of a Winston player.
On that first point defense, this means that they don't necessarily have to do it at the end of the map. The fuel already are sub 2 minutes coming into the mid phase of the shuttle area. They catch Decay there, and that was Hisu. Getting a hack on the Tracer, preventing Blinken. Oh my, the follow-up is good, Dallas. We're trying to control the high ground. That meant they had to play close together to benefit from Crimzo's healing. And it was a big EMP to catch them all. Hisu continuing to look better on Sombra. Back in here and keep the card from reaching that objective. Sato, they're going to try and use him aggressively. He has Primal Rage to buy a bit of time. The Sport is much closer right now for Philly, so they are technically advantaged in that regard. Carpe catches Decay, long range headshot, he'll take it, he won't complain. Sato with Primal Rage will play behind the cart. That large health pool is handy, but he's hacked, so we can't really get to the high ground at all. Carpe benefiting a little bit from Alarm Bionic Orb, who then has to fade to stay alive. Now Fury enters the ring. Doha is cutting them down one at a time, though. Hisu, EMP here. Yeah,
he self-destruct.
If Philly could get a fight win here, it would be huge. Gamsu goes down to the self-destruct. Decay has to get on out with the recall, and Doha finds an EMP of his own. But Gamsu's down. He fell to the bomb. Decay's going to return, and Crimzo sitting in the back just trying to keep Closer nice and healthy. Decay getting sprayed as well. He needs that biotic grasp right now. A big pulse bomb could end it. Sato is now down, and Gamsu has returned to the fight with Primal. Yep, they get the point, Dallas. 90 seconds left to finish the match.
At Philly, they threw everything into that one. They wanted to end it there, but because of they're just able to survive longer. You have a lot more ultimates coming into this next fight.
Decay, they'll get Hisu there. No escape for him. The rest of Philly came to try and save him, and all they get is a pulse bomb for their trouble. Decay with 2, and now he's looking to clean up Alarm. Here's the snowball. Now Dallas were able to slow Philly down on this part of the map. Can Philly do the same thing? Otherwise, Dallas going to be winning it back into their spawn and give Dallas some space. Fury knocked aside by Gamsu, trying to find environmental kills in that back corner, but they found Carpe the old-fashioned way. Decay gets his hands dirty and comes up with the goods. Doha, you know what he's trying to do. Yes, it's an EMP. It catches both Sato and Fury, and that's perfect. You don't need many EMP targets when you hit a Winston who's about to get his Primal Rage. Fury's now down. Philly is starting to run out of stalling options. Alarm waits, but might be blocked as he tries to move to the card. He tries to stay alive with a biotic grasp, a bit of extra help, but it's not enough. Sato, Primal Rage, he steps forward. They're in overtime. Dallas almost lost the round there by getting knocked off the card, but Fury returns. He has the self-destruct, but he was hacked. Can't use it. Sound barrier for Funny Astro for 2. Fury down. Now Alarm steps up. Both teams neck and neck on Gibraltar, and both will have a minute left to work with.
Towards the end there, it was a really nice
game, but he can't do anything about it. Decay is like a swarm of hornets, and he drops the pulse bomb in. Fury is desuited as a result. Decay now continuing to push into the backside, and Doha from the front. So many elusive threats here for Dallas, and Philly just can't keep track of all of them. Hisu there is in trouble. He had to translocate out, and he was found instantly. Goes for an EMP, catches Gamsu, but the sound barrier is very good from Closer, and Crimzo will put a cherry on top with a nice looking coalescence, and Dallas this time.
But now Alarm's been pushed to the back. It's way harder to get these big, impactful biotic grenades, as Philly's going to have to get on to get a touch.
Yeah, they go forward now. They've managed to isolate Crimzo from the rest of his team. He's trying to coalescence, but many of the fuel are already around the corner. That's because they went all in to try and get Alarm, and they did. Yeah. So Crimzo won't be punished there for not being able to heal all 5 of his teammates at the same time.
That's also why it's so important for your Ana not to give up high ground. It's way easier at that kind of... it wouldn't be ideal.
Doha gets the EMP.
Oh, he
that's a nice
Alarm
catch.
too.
Alarm still gets the nano boost off on Sato though, so it looks like Dallas just tried to turn on Fury instead. It works there. They still get a target for that EMP, but they are trading for 1 kill. The hope is that it cascades into more. With Decay as a loose end here, able to wrap back around behind Carpe, and looking like it's very likely.
Yeah, it's a much like safer version of like the way we used to see EMPs used. Like EMPs, you would really kind of like lurk and try and find supports and negate support ults and whatnot. Now, because the game is so
Locate away, still giving themselves a bit of breathing room until Gamsu comes on in. He's caught though, great responsive, defensive EMP from his.
And that's why Philly gives up the space. It's a much better area to EMP from than to kind of go into that choke point, go around the corner. But it'll be a cold sound barrier coming in here as a pulse bomb comes from Decay, and that's going to be a sound barrier to use right away with an EMP to negate it.
Yeah, Fury! There it is! Haven't seen many multi-bomb kills, which is strange considering there's a dive comes, but Carpe gets 2 as well. And Philly flicked the switch, and it's not an EMP. They shut the Dallas Fuel down. But Carpe and Fury, good friends. I know Carpe wanted Fury on his team for quite some time. They get their wishes, and now, so do Philly fans.
All things considered, when you take into effect how poor the point A defense was for Philly.
Right, they want to try and get this checkpoint now, so it's a sound barrier. Carpe almost gets there. Philly go for a risky play by, using an EMP when they're missing a couple players. Doesn't work in the long run. It allows them to get to a position to fight for the point, but Fury's going to back away. Alarm's trying to chase him there and get healing, but now Alarm is faded into Decay, and then he can't get away once the pulse bomb comes down. And yet, this is the way the Philadelphia Fusion go. They take risks. This one, however, there are no dividends on that one.
It looked like, though, it was going to pay off, but they got the cart that far. It's just like
Offensive EMP, the way that he threw his translocator there, but didn't use it. He holds onto it and gets a hack on Sato, who can't get back to safety now, and he is very deep in enemy territory. No, you could say the same about him. Carpe gets him out of the mech now, and that's the EMP. Carpe gets a sound barrier, though, so Matt, you kind of teased it. Funny Astro was lying in wait for a chance to keep his team durable during EMP.
That's a big
one. And now
one.
Dallas get hit with one of their own, and Gamsu just explodes. Decay trying to push forward now, and Note is no longer hacked, so he's able to get that defense matrix in play. Crimzo was hacked, and all he could do was hide. So Carpe just chases him down, and they get what they want in that fight. They get an EMP, but more importantly, Matt, Bunny Astro gets a sound barrier with Doha Sombra ultimates on Philly.
I mean, that's the big difference. Is you see when Philly they get hit by the sound EMP that comes in from Doha, they have the self-destruct that Fury just drops on the point to combat that EMP.
Gamsu in early. Can anyone follow him up? Crimzo can't. That is fantastic. The hack on the Moira means that either Gamsu gets no healing while he's deep, or the Moira just gets caught out. Now, Gamsu had to use Primal Rage to get 1 kill on Sato. That's not worth it. Now, one hack on that Moira really turns Dallas's old economy to mush.
Yes, now Philly, they'll continue to move the cart. Getting closer towards the end, not a ton of time left.
They're heading for the hills. They're just trying to regroup now. Alarm wants to keep the pressure up, wants to stay aggressive. Doha's able to interrupt the coalescence, but Funny Astro once again. Funny Astro holds on to the sound barrier after the EMP. And guess what? Hisu gets rid of Dallas's. Everything's going right for Philadelphia now. The timing, the sequencing, the style, it's all there. And Carpe now is bringing that aggression. Decay's trying to get on towards the cart, but now Dallas have lost their ultimates. They have to dig deep to try
or be further to it, and you're so far behind at that point, and one fight can just change everything in a game like this that you can't risk it.
Oh my gosh, Decay getting taken out early. Bad signs now is, well, Alarm knows he can be a little bit more aggressive. He can step forward and keep Fury and Sato up, who have been really championing the best to get to the point. Don't be suited, and this one is already over.
Yep, that is really fast. As Dallas, they play the bridge. Philly, they have no problem diving up into that room on the right-hand side. They kill Decay. Fury picks up that one, and then they're able to do it. Gamsu to his.
Well, Hisu also couldn't do any flanking, Matt, because his front line is pushed so deep, he couldn't actually get ahead of them here. So less safe damage was available for Hisu, which means that Doha has an unanswered EMP. Philly don't spend really anything here. Alarm, I think, had a crack at going to the coalescence, but it really didn't make much of a difference there. Carpe gets Crimzo. How long does he stay for? He's about a second kill now.
They're
of
going
course,
to stay.
They're going to spawn much closer, but this Primal Rage is causing some issues.
Yeah, I mean, with the Primal Rage, you're able to live for a little bit longer here. They get another kill, and now you're just trying to buy time to get some more ultimates online. If you can get this EMP, you come out, Fury EMP'd, and then when the sound barrier comes in from the Dallas Fuel, like to counter the sound barrier that they use, then they would have EMP'd it off.
Yeah, that means they would have had that sound barrier advantage, and it would have been a net loss for the Dallas field. That didn't happen though. Dallas held on to that ultimate. But Alarm now is starting to throw some hands. Paulisble comes out. Ooh, he barely keeps Sato alive right now, and even that's going to be hard from this kind of distance. He's running out of resources. Spider Grasp isn't going to cut the mustard. Gumsu's able to get back into spawn. Decay also drives by Carpe, but good focus fire there as well from closer to secure a quick trace to kill. Carpe had no time to even think about recalling, and Dallas looked good defensively here.
Yes, Decay gets 3 in that fight. That is a massive fight win for the
in vain. As Decay's Pulse Bomb goes the way of many Pulse Bombs before into the defense matrix, and here's that coalescence of alarms, and it comes at a great time. It comes late in the fight, with Closer and Crimso's healing resources are already stretched to their limit, so Philly get to go over the top. Overhealing gets them there. Sound barrier for the field. Damage just from the Winston over the top.
Sato's so
he's in
weak.
trouble. Now, Alarm was trying to chase him, I think, but he got there a little bit too late. He sort of fades in after all the action's done. But still, the Winstons are traded out. So what does Note do now as the next most...
This will be Crimso using the Coalescence, and now it's go time for the Fuel.
Alarm has his 2, and that's the hack. The EMP coming in first. Hisu gets there earlier than Doha, and Dallas thought they were safe from Alarm's Coalescence until they didn't have one of their own. That blew out real quick.
Yes, Alarm has had himself a very good day. I think the support core in general for the Philly Fusion has been stellar in terms of their ultimate usage.
Time for Hisu to get that ultimate back by playing forward as they are. But Fury gets caught out. You can't wait to count for the burst damage of a Pulse Bomb. Sound barrier even being committed for the Dallas here. So Philly will probably just take an L here, back away, and if there's any chance to stall out, they'll try. With Crimso out of the picture, Dallas have less staying power, less sustainability here, but it's unlikely to slow them down much.
Yeah, this is going to be Philly Fusion just backing out on this. See if they can get some respawns back when they do inevitably make it to the point.
Oh, that is a pretty good EMP. Doha, no chance to respond. He's burnt down first and Gumsu second. So that's what we sort of call an efficient fight victory with only one ultimate needing to be committed to it. Philly now have time to generate the other 5.
They leave Note. Poor Note.
How many times? Okay, I want a stat. I don't know if we can find it. We probably can't, but I want to find a stat for time spent in outside of Met, or time spent as Baby Diva, and we can roughly equate that to time being staggered, because obviously if you have it.
To stay up to date with all things Overwatch League, make sure to check out one of our other recap videos.